Whiterun belongs to the true sons of Skyrim now, just as it should. I'm sure my brother Vignar is, since they made him Jarl after throwing Balgruf out. Comes the end of the day, Imperials and Stormcloaks ain't that much different. Both sides want to tell you how you should live your life. Guess I'd rather hear it from a real Nord than some emperor down south.
Praise Talos and all the divines! Whiterun has been liberated by the true sons of Skyrim. With open arms, with cheers and song, with joy in my heart and tears in my eyes. Praise be to Talos! This is a glorious day for Whiterun and for all Skyrim! Our liberators have come at last!
Because killing her would yield no political advantage. By leaving Elisif alive, Ulfric completes the separation of the Empire and Skyrim. With Ulfric's troops here, Elisif will be forced to support his bid for High King. He secures the position and appears above reproach. What's more, Ulfric's refusal to execute his slain enemy's wife will be portrayed as the ultimate act of compassion. It's genius, really. Well, by rights, she had a legitimate claim as High Queen of Skyrim. But now, Skyrim is at Ulfric's mercy. The Moot will meet and choose Ulfric as High King. With his troops in most of the cities, they have little choice. Feel free to return to me with questions. The Blue Palace is an open forum.
If you have business, please see Falk Firebeard, my steward. Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he deserved it more than Torygg. Now it would seem Ulfric has his wish. And there truly is no justice in the world. No. Although it's true my husband Torygg was the High King, and I am his widow, I am in no position to claim such a title. Ulfric Stormcloak is victorious, and the Jarls have fallen in line. It seems I will never take my rightful place as High Queen.
When the Stormcloaks took Solitude, I thought for sure things would slow down. But they keep me just as busy as the Imperials. These days, most of what I make is for folk like you. There's still Imperial camps to be cleaned up, as you know. And that takes arms and armor. Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge never rests.
Somewhat, yes. At first it seemed a distant thing, heard only in the idle speech of guards and traders. When the wounded soldiers began to return from battle, I did what I could to help them. As more of the sick and injured came to the temple, my work as a healer became more important than my duties as a priestess. I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more.
Well, first and foremost, there's repairs to make and wounds to heal. Folks are depending on us getting the city back in working order. Once things settle down, I'll be looking to recruit more guards for the city, then shore up our stores of food and water. The Empire might try and take the city back, or worse, we'll get a visit from a dragon. We've got to be ready for both. Aye, with a certainty. It was Talos that helped us win back the city. I'm as sure of that as the sun rising in the morning. Might even build a new temple and put Heimskr in charge of it. I bet he'd like that. Aye, they're an old clan like ours. But they cast their lot with the Empire when the uprising began. Ulfric Battleborn made his money from farming, and got himself some new friends among the Empire's nobles. Now he's in the Emperor's pocket like the rest of them. with no regard for honor and tradition.
If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart enough to know what I meant? Probably not. As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research, I don't care who gives the orders. Now, I'm a busy man, and your pointless questions are boring me terribly. Good day.
No more than I was already getting. 4 of the guards have already decided they're in love with me. 2 of the guards got into a fight over me at the tavern. At least Balgruf's men bathed regularly. These Stormcloaks always smell of ale and sweat, and their breath reeks.
Well, not a great deal, no. But I do less business than I used to. The Stormcloaks don't like buying from anyone that isn't a Nord. If I wasn't married to Ulfric, I'd be out of business.
Vignar the Revered is the Jarl in Whiterun. I guess he was a great hero once, because the companions all call him Vignar the Revered. Is Vignar too old to be Jarl? It's a fair question. If he's grown infirm and is losing his wits, where does that leave the people of Whiterun?
Oh well.
The Imperials
things are
were
going well
weak.
enough.
They created this forsworn problem.
I
But now that we're
I
in
can't
charge,
tell, Thornvor.
we'll solve
It's
it.
anyone's guess.
Once the war is over, I'll petition Ulfric to send the militia, and we'll cleanse the reach of this menace. Then the Forsworn will be where they belong, in the mines, bringing us wealth. After Whiterun is retaken, Ulfric will pay in blood for his insolence. You should be talking to my steward. If the gods are merciful, they've found a safe place to hide in the city. I hope Vignar doesn't find them. He'll ask a king's ransom, I'm sure.
I'll always be a commander, even if those Stormcloak dogs have stripped away my power. The Legion will regain control of this city. Mark my words.
Dark times indeed. I fear the worst for Morthal and my people.
Yes? What is it?
I try and take comfort in knowing that when all is lost, there is much to be gained.
Yes? What is it?
It is my hope that I will one day return to Hjalmarch, but the Divines have not shown this to me.
I don't understand. Why can't we go home? I can't sleep here. The dreams are even worse than before.
Stormcloaks have taken the Reach, but will return. The Empire will bring order. What do you want? Haven't you done enough damage to Markarth?
Ha! Ulfric's put me in charge of keeping an eye on the new Jarls. You know, make sure they're generally following orders. Can't say I'm looking forward to that, but I will also be training men and women for their new armies. The Empire might send over a few legionnaires to make sure we're serious, and of course, we'll be taking the fight to the elves soon enough. We'll need trained, disciplined, and creative warriors ready for all that.
There will be peace for a time, during which we must rebuild Skyrim into the land it once was. Strong, self-reliant, the center of mankind. Because getting rid of the Empire was only half the problem. Soon the elves will again seek to rule the world. We must ready ourselves to fight them. For it will be Skyrim that shall lead Tamriel in those dark days, when the fate of the world is finally determined. No, not yet. We'll wait for the mood to name me High King. It'll be better for all that way. But that doesn't mean I won't start acting like it. There's much to do. The new Jarls need help building armies, and enforcing their right to rule. The Empire may try to reclaim Skyrim, and I need everyone ready for that. Though the biggest threat, of course, is the elves.